Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long trade here on the S&P 500, looking to fade the lows of this trap on the bottom of this small little range that formed here. So in the way that this is setting up, we have just kind of a beautiful setup in general where we came down to the prior low of day, which is this line at 22, and they've been having a really hard time getting through that level. So because of that, they kind of moved into somewhat of this little range right here. And this range is where a lot of this important information is coming in that, what side wants to break out, which side is going to take it, who kind of owns this market. And we're not really seeing the sellers follow through with their claim that they own it, right? We saw the sellers try with that big push down. They have the bias considering the downside move, and then they only get a double bottom. They try to break down again, and it's all wick down here. Absolutely no continuation from the sellers through the lows. And that tells us only one thing: we really need to start looking for this to begin failing back up to the upside. So in terms of upside potential here, we have 3 contracts long at 22.5. I'm looking to get a 1-to-1 move up to 26 and a quarter, and that's going to be the final objective right back up. Now, we're not dealing with a very big range overall today, so going in with 3 contracts, you could probably go even deeper, depending on your account size. But right now, given the slow movement and the lack of follow through, I really don't want to go in with huge size unless I'm able to get in down here, right? If I were looking to fade the low or fade the high, etc. Since we're getting in a little bit late towards the middle of this range, I don't want to go in with full size. Doesn't make as much sense. So we're seeing the sellers completely fall apart. Now it's the buyer's turn to step up to the plate and see if they can push this back up. Now, the nice thing about our target here at 26 and a quarter, if we look backward a little bit, if this were going to be a wedge, the wedge highs would have been right around there, and they tried breaking out and that failed, right? And came all the way back down to the lows. But right now, our objective is going to be right back at a retest of that wedge potential high, as well as a spike and channel retest point. So a lot of things pointing to the upside here, at least up to around 26 and a quarter, which is perfect because that gives us a 1-to-1 move. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So we'll let the market do what it needs to do to get going here, but seeing a massive sell side failure, we should be a-okay to the upside and looking for our target at a 1-to-1 at 26 and a quarter. Buyers pushing aggressively higher here. We've come 1 tick from our target already, so I locked my stop in at break even plus a couple just underneath this bull candle. I don't want to give anything back, but I don't want to choke the trade out either. So this way we're guaranteed to make something on the trade, but it also allows the market a little bit of room to get going here, just in case they want to pull back and more buyers want to dive in. Likely you're going to see some buyers come in at around that 24 and a quarter area because that's the range high that we're trying to break out of. A lot of times buyers will wait for that breakout and then buy that pullback, trying to get that continued move up. So everything is really coming together quite well. The only issue is these candles are relatively large, so locking in our stop really only means that we're able to lock in about a half a point or 2 ticks. So I would like to see it kind of finish the job and get our target filled up here sooner rather than later. One important piece of information would be if the candle that we're on right now fails to close above that 24 and a quarter, that would show some upside breakout failure, and it's likely that the sellers will then take that right back down to the lows. So we do not want to see that right now. We want to see the buyers follow through, get this breakout move going, and they might be able to push up to around that resistance area at 27 and 3/4, 28 and a quarter, that block of resistance up there. But the big objective, the major objective is going to be getting up to 26 and a quarter or so for our 1-to-1. Now, you might be able to hang on to this for a bigger target, maybe a 2-to-1 or something like that. But given the context of the day, I don't think that's reliable enough. It's not as likely on a day like today to get those kinds of fills. So we're coming in, we're pushing up. We just need the buyers to kind of finish the job here and get our target filled at 26 and a quarter. And as long as we can stay above this 24 and a quarter area, we should be good to go in terms of the way, the S&P is setting up for potential breakout move. If they do stay above and they are able to close above, it wouldn't be a surprise at all to see the next couple candles want to pull back, retest that 24 and a quarter area as an area of support, and then buyers come right back in off that level to try to swat this higher. So we'll give them a little bit more time here. We're 1 tick away. Stop is locked in. Now we just need to see them finish the job. Buyers pushing back up 1 tick away from the target. We'll see if they're able to finish this job here. This is definitely kind of feeling that slowdown that we've been feeling, especially yesterday. Today is better than yesterday in that we're coming back from the Easter holiday. Today, you know, it seems like we picked up a little bit of speed, but man alive, it feels like we're also just kind of taking a nap here. Every time a new big candle forms, we just go nowhere for seemingly 20 minutes, right? So we're 1 tick away from our target. We still haven't seen them finish off the move. Our stop is still locked in at 23, so we're guaranteed at least 2 ticks on the trade, but I would love to see them finish the job here at 26 and a quarter, just to kind of get that move going. We have the breakout. We did close firmly above that range high, and that does add a lot of emphasis and a lot of confidence for the buyers trying to get this move going. So knowing that a lot of buyers will be interested in this potential move here, we do have plenty of time in plenty of really candle distance to get this job done. The big issue is really just the buyers are taking their sweet time getting anything going. So just kind of waiting for them to finish the job right now. Everything is pointing up to the upside at 26 and a quarter, not too far away, but you can see they continue to play around and not want to finish that move, and that's going to be the important part. Now, a couple things that do stand out on this is simply the fact that they came up and they're double topping off of that level. So a double top off that level could be a primary concern, but again, there will be buyers that are looking to get back in at 24 and a quarter to buy that breakout, looking for the pullback, buy the range again, and then finish the move to the upside. So seeing this pull back right now, I can't say as much of a surprise. It kind of makes sense in the context of what's going on, right? So just waiting for a little bit, yeah, and see, there's the follow through that we were looking for. So that's exactly what happened. We broke out above the highs. They pulled back, they tested it, and they bought it and popped that thing right back up, and then we get our target filled. It's just you have to wait sometimes for that to happen, all before you can get your target filled. But luckily, they still pushed up 1 tick away from our target, so we were able to lock our stop in nice and tight at a profitable position regardless. So that's going to do it for me. Beautiful move up, albeit really slow, but that's the S&P seemingly after a holiday weekend. So that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.